what I gather is that like anything that makes the feminine feel fearful about meeting up with the masculine in the physical, the karmics kind of think about this like repetitively, and that's really like what energy is. And hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive717. I am back with another video. I just wanted to thank you guys before I begin for being here with me. I want to welcome the new subscribers and those of you who have been rolling with me for a really long time. Thank you. I appreciate your support. As you guys know, this is a safe space for you all to talk about your twin flame stuff. This information is not really for everybody. You might feel like judged and really isolated from the world, but not when you step onto my channel and you watch and you engage in the comments and stuff like that. Just feel free to share yourself out of your genuine, authentic desire to feel connected to other people, all right? Like-minded people, because that's what my channel is about. I do step into the comments from time to time to answer questions, so I want you guys to just know you're loved and supported here, okay? I got you guys, and Maggie got you guys. She's not... Oh, sorry, did I interrupt you from grooming? I'm sorry. I just wanted everyone to see your cute little things. You're just too cute. You're just too lovable and cute. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing extremely well. And yeah, I wanted to do another pick a pile reading quickly for you guys because I wanted to send messages from your masculine. So the thing I wanted to kind of give you guys the heads up on is, I know we were talking about karmic energy in the last video, and I wanted to remind you guys of certain things that tend to happen when the masculines are coming closer in the physical. And when I mean like the physical, I mean like planning around the union or like connecting with the feminine in the physical. It's not just through the 5D. If they are in like a karmic partnership, one moment guys. Okay, that's a lot better. So if they are in a karmic partnership, and let me clear something up first. When your twin is in a karmic relationship versus a soulmate relationship, the differences is that a soulmate is meant to guide, nurture, and help you come closer to your twin in a way that's like healthy, or they'll kind of like bring up lessons for you to help you understand like what it is you want and desire. And then a karmic situation will try to block you from experiencing authentic divine love, but like not in a way that's meant to like spook you guys out. They're like designed to be here. Like I mind my own business when it came to my masculine's karmic situation. Like no matter how much his karmic partner tried to like spiritually trigger me, no matter how much I at the time was digging into a lot of videos about spell work and black magic and all of that stuff, I started realizing like if everything is energy based, I just had to mind my own business and like do my thing. And those things, like, it came up to like try to like scare me. Like I'll tell you guys some things that happen. Like every time my masculine comes close physically, I'll experience really dark circles under my eyes, really like dry mouth, even like bad breath. I'll experience, as weird as it is to say, like feminine problems, and they just come like out of nowhere, guys. Let me see what else I can think of. Really dry skin along my fingers, my cuticles, my nails will go out like brittle. And what I gather is that like anything that makes the feminine feel fearful about meeting up with the masculine in the physical, the karmics kind of think about this like repetitively, and that's really like what energy is, and people who refer to like black magic and stuff like that. It's really just like an input of energy that's like built up and like outpoured onto like one target. So sometimes you might feel it come up, just ignore it. If it does come up, like just say all is well, and then self-care, self-care, self-care. If you're like getting dry hands and stuff like that, use like a good moisturizer. If you're getting dark circles, make sure that you're washing your face every morning and moisturizing morning and night. Just, you know, kind of dig into self-care. And it's crazy because when you do dig into the self-care, I'm saying this as, oops, sorry darling, as this one's like grooming away over here because she's so good at self-care. Someone said in the comments too, that cat looks healthy, and it made me laugh so much. Everyone's like checking out Maggie on camera. But yeah, guys, like, you know, this stuff comes up because you'll find that like if your masculine is coming closer, or if there is karmic interference, you get like so obsessed with the connection that you lose sight of your self-care. So that's why like the dry skin will come up, like the under eyes, with the dark circles for me. It's just like neglect of like the body, right? And we can't neglect the body because that's how we have to feel grounded. Like that's what gets us out of our minds sometimes, because if we're too much in our minds, that's when we feel like really obsessed or weak, or that we can't get out of this connection. Like, what's this person doing to me? We're too much in the mind there, too much swords energy. But when we ground ourselves and we work out, do like a lot of deep breathing, yoga, meditation, stuff like that, that grounds you back into the body and you feel better. Like, I remember growing up and watching my grandma do like a lot of kundalini yoga. Like, she'd sit there for hours at a time holding her hands like this, going satnam, satnam, satnam. And I, as kids, we would like, kind of like play along and joke along with her. She would do like a lot of Surya Namaskar, salutations to the sun. And I never understood why as a kid. And then as I got older, I started understanding that many people use like meditation, yoga, breathing, and that kind of thing to like save themselves. Like, sometimes you get so out of your body and into your mind that your body feels so sick and ill to the point where you can't move. Like, you'll run down your stairs and you gotta sit down, and it's crazy and overwhelming because it's like you have kids to take care of, you have jobs to go to, lots of stuff going on in your life, right? So you can't really afford to lose sight of your vitality and your energy within the body, okay? So, sorry I went on that rant there, but I just felt like it was really important information for you guys to know, recognize, and understand what's happening, and just, like I said, mind your business. Mind your own business, and keep doing you, my lovely divine feminines, because nothing irks them more than just seeing you glow and smile. And when you glow and smile, that means that you're taking good care of yourself, okay? So with that being said, I'll go ahead and dive right into the cards. You guys know, just like the last reading, I have the Sacred Rebels deck. So if you've kind of like had your eye on it while I've been talking, then that's your deck. I have the Tarot of Sexual Magic for those of you who love the images and, just the feeling of these cards. Very romantic, very sensual. If you want the Archangel deck, maybe some of you are in need of some guidance from your team, your protective angels, someone who is looking over the connection. And then I have the classic Rider-Waite Major Arcanas only. If, your masculine's just sending you general messages about what they're facing right now. Okay, either way, all of the cards are going to send you guys messages from what they're going through. So I'm going to go with the Sacred Rebels deck first. I'm going to cut it in half. Okay. And keep in mind, we're kind of like still moving along with like the karmic energy and how to help you guys through that stuff, okay? So the masculine in this card here, it says restore and replenish. So he's certainly taking time alone, and even from his karmic partner, he's taking time alone. And if some of you feel like your masculines have been in like a bad mood, or they've been really like hostile, it's because they've had to like take this time alone away from everyone else. Because I think that if your karmic is aware of you in this connection, it says restore and replenish, and it's got the energy of the 3 and the 8. I think that the karmic partner is like aware of you in a way where it makes like the masculine feel cornered, or like they don't have space or time to connect with you. The energy of the 3 in terms of like the negative side is dullness, and I think it's like coming to pass, or like the masculines are starting to notice the dullness more in the connection with him and anyone else, like with his karmic partner, family members who are a little bit more off balanced or negative. And then we have the energy of the 8, and that's a lot of personal power, which we know he's trying to rest and replenish so he can get a little bit more of that back to start drawing boundaries, because the 8s are about the highs and the lows when you are trying to learn about having personal power, okay? The karmics are aware of you, the masculines are resting right now, so give them that space and that time, and again, just do you, because if they're aware, again, their thought process is very much on trying to like block the connection rather than push it forward, okay? If it is like that karmic energy that you feel, and I know many of you know what I'm talking about when I say that by now, especially those of you who have been on the journey for a really long time. The masculines are planting ideas, like even the image with the woman like in the fetal position, it's like when you're in the womb, right? When you're being born again kind of thing. And I think that the twin flame connection makes him go to this place of wondering what life would be like if he were to start over from a place of love, a place of gentleness, calmness. Okay, that's what he's seeking with you, and he needs a little bit of time. Another thing too, like I'm guided to say, is like the masculines right now, if they're in these like heavy karmic situations, they're having to like pull out their swords and be very like strong right now, and feminine self-care, because they're strong enough to fight off these karmic energies. Like, you two have had so much communication spiritually and in the physical that he's very much aware now of what healthy love looks like. So he's just resting and trying to remember that energy again and gain his strength a little bit. I'm going to move over to the Tarot of Sexual Magic for those of you who are wanting this deck. Okay, so we have the Knave of Pentacles here. Okay, so our Knave is very new to the game, and he's not really taking action just yet, but he's thinking about it for sure. He's in his thoughts right now. Like, for me, the Knaves are in their thoughts about doing something, and I think that he's feeling this push towards his feminine sexually, and that's what's on his mind right now. But the feminines are being very standoffish. And it's like the energy I feel is that he just wants to pull her close to him, make her drink this, potion, and just kind of like go back to this place of being obsessed with him, being obsessed with the connection. But she's kind of like, see how I wrote there, chill DM? Chill, divine masculine. Like, the feminine has to draw boundaries at some point, and it's like, he admires the woman's body, he admires everything about her. But feminines, the more you step away from like giving in constantly to these kind of like things on the surface when we connect in love, the masculines are going to start seeing you from a place of the depth that you want to be seen. Because what I feel in this connection is like the masculines are used to karmics who give in to them really easily, and that's what kind of keeps them in bad behavior, whereas the feminine kind of like checks them. So feminines, if you find yourself in a situation where it's like you're kind of like afraid to stand up to your masculine, especially in like conversation and stuff, look at where her hand is. It's on the flame and it burns. So even though it might burn in conversation to experience like separation, if you do kind of get feisty with your mouth and stuff like that, like hit his glass away and be like, listen, like, here's my truth. Here's what I'm thinking right now. I don't like the way this is going. Like, you got stuff to deal with, and I have stuff to deal with. And then you take your space, okay, without giving each other the evil eye. That was in Q-Tip's song I was listening to this morning with a Vibrant thing. Give each other space without that evil eye. So yeah, like in this group, I definitely think that the masculines are in his thoughts about the feminine. But like the thing is, in order to escape karmic energies, the feminine has to act true and authentic to who she is and not be afraid to like lose the masculine's attention. Because believe me, when you act authentic and you separate yourself from the kind of energies that he's used to, women that just succumb to anything he says and does, and it's not always from the healthiest place, then you're the one that's gaining freedom within those lessons, right? It reminds me of, again, that Queen of Swords energy. Sometimes you gotta let things go even though it hurts. You gotta push it aside. It reminds me of Bear's Hammond's song, Don't Play With My Heart. I'll link that one for you guys in the comment section. Just for you, those of you who picked this deck. And also, be very playful when you're trying to take space from your masculine, because it's a spiritual connection, and we all know like approaching it with negativity or hostility is not always the best approach. How I usually like get things out the way I'm feeling and stuff like that with my connection is I use music. And even though the lyrics might be like, I'm leaving, I'm never coming back, like, it's just this way of having this beautiful outlet of letting out your emotions without, really doing things in the physical that you might regret later. Because sometimes when you're in your thoughts and it takes time to connect to the heart, you might filter out something different by the time your nervous system calms down a little. Okay, so I'll link that song for you guys, and this card might make a little bit more sense. Those of you who chose the Archangel deck, your masculines are here to let you know that with you, they experience a lot of prosperity. And I think I mentioned this like a few times, where the masculines are learning to build abundance in their lives, and that's the way out of their karmic situations. So if you find that like a lot of the times they're silent, or they're coming and going, or they just seem really busy, really and truly, like It's just their way of trying to secretly build something for themselves that's outside of their karmic situation so that they can create a home, a turtle shell, a beautiful, abundant space for them in the feminine. And as crazy as it may sound sometimes, and sometimes like I can feel the feminine energy being like, oh yeah, right, if he really wanted this, he'd be out of that situation and working. But sometimes, guys, it really is not that easy, and it's specifically designed that way because our souls want to grow, right? Like, twin flames don't come together because it's easy. You meet your twin flame and they fall into your lap and they turn your world, like I say a million times before, upside down for a reason. Okay, and right now your masculines are playing on earth in terms of prosperity. Like, even the card that we had before was the Knave of Pentacles, and like the Pentacles itself is very like, you know, material focused, right? And like they can't see a life with you without having like abundance. Many of you are in connections with masculines who are like they're so masculine when it comes to like that boss status. Like, they want to take care of you, they want to show you off. They, even though like for the feminines they might be like, hey listen, all I want is your love, like for the masculines they don't want to take that as an answer. They don't want to just give you their love, they want to give you everything. They want to make you experience prosperity, and many of you can sense this, so they're asking you to be patient because everything is in divine order. This angel is Archangel Ariel. It says your material needs are provided as you follow your intuition and manifest your dreams into reality. And what his intuition is saying is, you know, work towards a connection that makes you feel fulfilled. How much longer are you going to go? Like, are you going to wait until you're old and gray in order to escape this connection with this person that doesn't, you know, bring that spark or that passion to life within you? Many of them are being faced with this right now. And another thing with this card that's coming up, or I guess like Archangel Ariel is wanting me to say, is many of the masculines like who have prosperity or who have built a lot of prosperity, they've had it like grasped by their karmic partners and just like taken advantage of. Like the vibe I get is like some masculines work and like they just give the money over to the karmic partner, and the karmic partner kind of just like fuels this lifestyle of, you know, being noticed in the material world. It's more about like stuff that's like on the surface level, right? It's not really about what our masculines are about, that deep connection. Like, they want to provide prosperity to see you feel comforted. The karmic partners want like fame and attention, and sometimes too much money like within their connection makes them feel so alone, because what the karmic partner does is like ignores them and will spend like hours at a time away from them, just kind of using up their resources and money. And yeah, like the masculines are kind of just getting sick of it, but there is angelic protection around them in terms of that. Like, when I say angelic protection, the angels are breaking down their concept of money, right? So they're kind of like letting go. Like, you're prosperous with the feminine connection, and just her energy alone will guide you to build and create new things. The Pentacles energy as well represents the builder. So what that tells me is like some of your masculines don't really mind letting go of the karmic situation and cutting it off, because it's like they're saying, you can have it all, take it all, like I'll start over, I'll rebuild. All right. The last deck we've got going here. I'm always guided to shuffle this one. I don't know if it's because it's so small, I just like doing it. Such a small bit of cards. Okay, let's see what lands at the top. Oh, the Fool again. I've had this come up in the last reading that I did. Okay, so, or last personal reading that I did, sorry. So the Fool card tells me that those of your masculines who are new to the journey, so this card is meant for those of you who still have questions about whether this is your twin flame or not, or if you're on a twin flame journey, what is a twin flame? You're curious about it, you don't want to know about it, but at the same time you stay up late at night reading and listening to readings and videos and stuff like that, like you just can't help yourself. That's the energy of the Fool, okay? And this is the masculines, okay? Some of you might think like they don't know what twin flames are, they don't know what the connection between you guys mean. They're Googling, guys. Like, technology tells you everything today, okay? They're Googling words like deep bond to a person. What does it mean when you can't stop thinking about a person? How do you know if someone's casted a spell on you? And it's taking them on the journey of the Fool. So with the 0 energy, it's like coming right back around again to like the truth. Okay, so he's got to go within, and he's got to go on this journey, and he has to face the people in his lives who are kind of like the naysayers, right? Like maybe he's mentioned you to a few people and they've kind of like laughed it off or told him like, you can't go after her, man. Like she's married, she's happy in her relationship. Or maybe there's some of you who are, you know, your masculine might think like you're too like high class for them, or like you're too out of their reach. Like they've had people kind of like say like, you're crazy, man. So he's now having to like trust his own intuition, and he's taking everything he has with him on his back and just moving forward. The sun is shining on him, and as we know, the sun is that very beautiful masculine energy. And I think he's finally starting to realize like, you know what, I'm just going to jump off this cliff and go with it, because I got to trust myself. I've got to trust the synchronicities with the dog here. Okay, dreams, animal totems, signs, all these beautiful synchronicities now he's starting to listen to and pay attention to. Before he would kind of like brush it off a little bit, like, okay, this is not real, this is not happening. But now what he's doing is he's starting to Google stuff. Like he's Googling the triple numbers. He's, you know, again, like I said, Googling and reading more information about like soul connections, twin flames, spiritual ascension, you know, 3D versus 5D, and it's really exciting for him. So if you aren't hearing from him right now, he's definitely busy doing research, or if he's throwing like little hints at you that you kind of can intuitively feel he knows like what this is all about, trust that, and you know, let him go on his journey. He's entering the Fool, and after the Fool comes the Magician, and I think he's prepared to do some wonderful things with this energy. All right, so this is all I have for you guys for today, but I hope this reading finds you extremely well. And I know we didn't get to cuddle up with Mega too much today, but you know, she's kind of just doing her own thing, I guess, right now. So we love you guys, and we'll catch you soon, okay? Thank you for those of you who are subscribing, guys. The channel is growing like crazy, and I just appreciate and love each and every one of you. All right, I'll catch you guys.